Hey y'all, welcome back to Moments with Miss Amy. I am so glad you joined me. So today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about when our plans get all messed up and how things, goodness, I don't know about you guys, but it can totally happen that way, right? Like you have these plans, you know what you're going to be doing, and then suddenly it's as if the rug is pulled out from underneath of you and everything is just like absolutely nuts and nothing goes according to plan. And yet, somehow, even with all of that happening, oftentimes we can still end up accomplishing at least some of what we were originally thinking, or maybe even all of it. And why is that? Why is it that sometimes, even though you have this like detailed plan of how you're going to do things and what's going to happen, and something happens to derail it, how can you still sometimes accomplish the thing that you were thinking that you were going to do? So here's my story of what happened. So some of you already know my mom is on the Alzheimer's adventure, okay? Which means that she lives in an assisted living and they take care of her. It's a memory place. It's a locked facility. So I don't have to worry about her being, one of those that they're advertising, the silver alert because she's gotten a car and gone off somewhere. But it also means that sometimes things can happen. So my husband and I had gone on vacation, had a wonderful time. We came back kind of earlier in the week and we were going to do some staycation stuff. We were going to go ahead and, go to the drive-in, which we did. We were going to go to the movies with friends. Didn't end up happening. And we just had a number of other things that were going to be going on. So we came back from our vacation, started the staycation, just doing these little things, breakfast out, fun stuff. And one morning I get the phone call, 7 o'clock in the morning. Mom had fallen. They were taking her by ambulance to the hospital. Obviously, super concerned. My mom's turning 80. A fall is never good. And they were telling me that they thought that she broke her nose, which she did. She broke it. And then she also, on this side here, has like 3 or 4 little stitches. I think 3 little stitches on the side of her nose. So when I saw her, it was like, wow, she looked really rough, But before I even left to go to her, I knew she's going to need to have me staying with her. I quickly threw a bag together, got my stuff set, showed up there at the hospital as they were getting her. She'd just finally gotten settled into the emergency room, from the ambulance and whatever. And so my plans had been to not only have the rest of my vacation with my husband and have this special time, but also like when we were coming back from vacation, I had all these plans of all that I was going to get accomplished on my digital business. Besides doing YouTube here and doing this channel, which I absolutely love, there's a number of other things that I do online. I'm an affiliate. I've got some Facebook groups going, things like that, as well as blogging. And my daughter and I are going to be doing a speaking event later on this year. And so there were so many things to be accomplished, and I had it all planned out as to what I was going to do, when I was going to do it, how it was going to get worked out. And all of a sudden, I'm in the hospital with my mom with no end in sight of when we would be released, because she went from being there in the emergency room to where they actually checked her in, put her into a room, and some of the times they had me staying all night with her. Sometimes I was just there all day. I was really blessed because they also had a sitter available, so I could still do some things like my doctor's appointments, things like that. I could leave her. And I did take my computer. Obviously, with the activity in the hospital, it's hard to really function and to concentrate and to get much done. But in little cracks of time, I did. I got a number of things done. And what I realized was my subconscious mind had made the decision of what it was, the things that I wanted to get accomplished. And so it made sure that a lot of it, not all of it, but a lot of it did somehow manage to get little clicks of time here and there, not the way that I had imagined it, but it still come together. And it was cool because my husband also really stepped up, here at the house. He handled the things at the house that I had planned on doing and I wasn't home to do. So it worked out really well. And I love the fact that even though my plans, the direction that I had going, what I thought I was going to be doing, didn't turn out the way that I expected. It still turned out amazing because my mom, thank goodness, she healed very quickly. It was incredible to see the change in her face from Thursday when it happened to the following Thursday when she was released. When we took her back to her assisted living, she was just so happy to be home. You could see it. It was amazing. I stopped back in the next day just to check on her again, just to visit, make sure she was doing okay. She was doing phenomenal. And I was so glad. That gave me so much peace. But all the things that I planned on doing, so many of them either got accomplished at the hospital, were accomplished for me by others, or simply fell into place in little cracks of time throughout just these last couple of days. And so honestly, I'm going into this next week with so many things accomplished, and it blows my mind because I really thought with the derailment of staying in the hospital for a week, oh my lands, I will be so far behind. And I wasn't, which is amazing. And it got me looking for scripture to see. And this scripture here kind of, I don't know, it's incredible at how it relates. It's Psalms 24. Psalms chapter 20, verse 4. May he give you the desire of your heart and make all your plans succeed. And I realized that because I had a plan, because I had things that I was working on doing, plans to accomplish what was important to me, and it was a desire of my heart that I got things done and that I was able to move ahead, doing what I needed to for the event, for my business, for my family, all of that, that I was able to spend the time with my mom, focus on her, and even though it was a challenging time, even though I was worried about her and I had some really incredible moments, and that was phenomenal. And my plans still succeeded because he knew the desire of my heart. So what I wanted to promote to you guys is the importance of knowing where it is you want to go. And of course, I've talked to you about that a number of times, but planning out how you're going to get there, realizing that sometimes our plans are going to go awry. Sometimes something's going to happen to change them. But if you know where you're going, even if you end up on a detour, you can still end up coming back around and finding your plan succeeded if it was the desire of your heart. So I hope that gives you a little insight and gets you thinking a little bit about where it is you want to go and why is that important to you, and start making your plans to get there. So do me a favor, if you haven't subscribed already, hit the subscribe button and make sure you click that little bell so you know when the next video drops. I want to thank you for joining me. Don't forget to click like and leave me a comment. Let me know what your plans are. What are you going to succeed with? So thank you again for joining me for Moments with Miss Amy.